Have you ever really looked at a dollar bill? Not just who's on it, but how it's made, what it shows, what it means. Every symbol, every line, every face was chosen, not by chance, but by design. Today, we pull back the curtain on the hidden hands behind the American dollar, the artists, engravers, and visionaries who crafted a currency that became an icon. Before the dollar was official, it was improvised. In the 1700s, colonial America printed its own money. One of the most famous printers? Benjamin Franklin. Yes, the same man who's now on the $100 bill. He wasn't just a founding father, he was a pioneer in anti-counterfeiting. Franklin embedded natural leaf patterns into paper notes, creating one-of-a-kind designs that couldn't easily be forged. Even in Revolution, the early American spirit understood that design is defense. But these colonial currencies were inconsistent. Each colony issued different styles. There was no standard look, no central authority, and no national identity on paper. That changed in 1792, when Congress passed the Coinage Act and established the U.S. dollar. It was inspired in name by the Spanish dollar, a widely used coin of the era. But for decades, paper money in America was still a chaotic patchwork. Private banks, hundreds of them, issued their own bills. Different designs, different sizes, different values. Then came the Civil War. To fund the Union Army and bring order to the system, the federal government issued its first standardized national paper currency in 1861. These were the first greenbacks, and to produce them securely, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing was created in 1862. This was the beginning of the dollar's artistic legacy. At the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, known as the BEP, artists didn't just design money. They crafted identity, security, and trust into every sheet. Each bill was hand-engraved, using tiny grooves etched into steel plates. It could take up to a year to complete a single engraving. Engravers were masters of line, shadow, and realism. Their goal? To capture the essence of great American leaders with such clarity that it would survive decades of printing and counterfeiting. This work wasn't glamorous. It was invisible, often anonymous. But behind every note, there was a human hand and an artist's eye. Take the $1 bill. George Washington's portrait wasn't created from imagination. It was adapted from a painting by Gilbert Stuart, an iconic image of the first president. But the engraving we know today was likely done by Charles Burt, a Scottish-American engraver with an extraordinary gift for precision. Abraham Lincoln on the $5 bill? That image began as a photograph by Matthew Brady and was transformed into engraving by Frederick Gersh. Every wrinkle, every line of his weary face, painstakingly carved into steel. And these engravings weren't just about likeness. They conveyed character, dignity, resolve. Every denomination had its artist, its process, its evolution. Sometimes these portraits were reworked or replaced, but always through the hands of skilled artists whose names are rarely remembered. Now, look closer. Turn the bill over. There's more to the dollar than faces. There are symbols, rich with history and meaning. The Great Seal of the United States, added to the $1 bill in 1935, is one of the most mysterious and discussed images in modern history. The unfinished pyramid, the Eye of Providence. Latin phrases like annuit coeptis and novus ordo seclorum, meaning He has favored our undertakings, and a new order of the ages. These weren't artistic flourishes. They were chosen during Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency to inspire confidence and reflect America's enduring vision. Designers like Thomas Hipchen and other BEP artists didn't just replicate these symbols. They interpreted them, enhanced them, and embedded them into everyday life. The dollar has changed many times since the 1930s, not just in design, but in technology. With every innovation in counterfeiting, artists had to respond. Today's currency includes microprinting, color-shifting ink, 3D ribbons, and watermarks. These features are born from science, but implemented through art. Designers like Brian Thompson and directors like Larry Felix brought modern tools to a centuries-old craft, blending tradition with cutting-edge protection. The engraving process may be partially digital now, but it still begins with a sketch, a pencil, a human eye for detail. So the next time you hold a dollar in your hand, know this: it wasn't designed by accident, it wasn't rushed, it wasn't generic. It was made with intention, by people you'll never meet: artists, craftsmen, historians, patriots. They didn't just design our money, they designed trust. And you carry that legacy every single day. To know more about stories like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Timeless Tales. For more videos, click that like and share button for more episodes.